Thank you for listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Got so much to talk about with fats, inflammation, anti-inflammation. Last program, we were talking about veggies, particularly green leafy veggies, which are some of nature's best sources of essential fatty acids, especially hard to find omega-3s. And the fat content is something that it's counterintuitive. If you just look at a blade of grass or a leaf of spinach, it certainly doesn't look fatty. But rest assured, it's loaded with good fats. It's one of nature's best sources, as I say, of omega-3 fats, these green leafy vegetables. It's also got carotenes and flavonoids, or phytonutrients, they call them, plant nutrients, that are so important for skin health, for sun protection. Carotenes and flavonoids protect the leaf from the sun, and when we eat them, they protect our leaves from the sun. Our leaves are called skin cells. Our leaves are protected in the same fashion that the leaf on a plant is protected, using flavonoids and carotenes that we get by eating them. This is why eating your sunscreens is so helpful. Eating plants and veggies is like eating sunscreens. That's how nature designed us. That's how we're supposed to be protecting ourselves from the sun, is from green leafy vegetables and other vegetables, other colored vegetables, not by slathering toxic sunscreens on. And make no mistake about it, they're toxic with a capital T. I don't care what you heard from your dermatologist or anybody else. They're toxic with a capital T. On the other hand, flavonoids, carotenes, plant steroids, the fatty compounds in vegetables can be super helpful for skin health. Veggies are just ridiculously powerful foods. Powerful foods. They don't look like much. They don't look substantial, but they are nature's most valuable, among nature's most valuable and important foods. I would make the case gram for gram. Well, I don't want to go there, but they're super duper powerful. Let's leave it at that. And I do think they should comprise the bulk of our calories, veggies. 50% or more of our calories should be veggie-based. Veggies. And you notice I said I didn't say fruits. Fruits are not veggies. They're distinct. Fruits are like ovaries for seeds, or uteruses. They're a combination of an ovary and a uterus. They produce seeds, they store seeds, they nurture seeds. And they got lots of sugar to feed the seed. Yeah, there's some good stuff in fruit, absolutely. But there's lots of sugar. The peel is really where the good stuff is. Eat the peel. Throw out the fruit, eat the peel. You'll be better off. On the other hand, veggies are the entire complex, the entire veggie complex is nutritive. Even the fiber, which is inert, is nutritive. Veggies are like little solar conversion devices. They produce solid matter from the sun, and that is probably the single most incredible chemical reactions in the universe, not on Earth, in the universe, in the known universe. The ability of a plant to turn the sun into physical matter is just, there's no other way to say it but magic. It is magic how that happens. And, it's not magic in the sense that we don't understand it, because, well, we don't understand it. We can see things happening, but how exactly it happens, nobody knows how that happens. That's magic. Anyway, phytonutrients, carotenes, flavonoids, these are all tremendously valuable nutrients for land animals. In this way, there's a really interesting relationship between the animal kingdom and the plant kingdom. We're interrelated. We're connected. There's a circle. We depend on plants, and plants depend on us. We depend on plants as a valuable source of nutrients, omega fats, carbohydrates, protein, carotenes, flavonoids, all of which the plant somehow manufactures from the sun. We depend on the plant doing this. Even if animals don't eat plants, even if lions and tigers they're not plant eaters, they only eat meat, they're carnivores, but the animals that they're eating were eating plants. So somewhere along the food chain, it all starts off with plants, whether we're eating them directly or whether secondarily, as a carnivore. Milk comes from plants. Animal flesh comes from plants. Eggs come from plants. All animal foods ultimately come from plants. But it goes both ways, because animals ingest vegetation, secondarily or directly. And guess what? Manure and what we excrete and don't use goes back into the earth, and then that feeds the plant. It's a big old circle, and that is pretty darn cool. Grass-fed animals provide us with nutrients from the plant world. Animals return the favor with manure and fertilizer, providing plants with nutrients that used to be part of them. And omega-3s are chief among these. And by the way, there's my favorite form of vegetation is ocean vegetation. I've said this yesterday. I was going to tell you about this, but I figured I'd talk about it today. Ocean vegetation, ocean grass. If terrestrial grass, if earth grass is among nature's most powerful foods, ocean grass is exponentially more powerful than terrestrial grass. Ocean grass doesn't depend on the earth, it depends on the ocean. And man, you want to talk about the mother lode of life force? That is the nucleus of it all, the ocean. And the things that grow on the ocean, they get the advantage of everything in the ocean. The earth is like barren compared to what's in the ocean in terms of nutritional value. Why do you think if you're a scuba diver, or if you watch those oceanography TV shows, why do you think that there's all that life in the ocean? The ocean is the nucleus of the life force on planet Earth, and that means the matrix that everything is within has got to have something going on there, and it certainly does. We'll talk about that when we come back from our break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side on the Genesis Communication Network. We'll be back after this. We're talking omega-3s, omega-6s, fats, the ocean. On my bucket list is definitely to go scuba diving. Oh my God, the life force that is in the ocean. The Danish author Isaac Dinesen said, "The cure for anything is salt water, sweat, tears, or the sea." And right he was. The ocean is packed with electromagnetic energy, and that electromagnetic energy is conducted via minerals. Yes, minerals. The ocean water is like a highly charged electromagnetic battery that runs 70% of our planet. And only crazy human beings are stupid enough to dump their trash in it, even though the ocean is quite forgiving. Seafood, by the way, is also very powerful, and unfortunately, we got to be careful with seafood these days, but seafood is an amazing source of nutrition, easy to process nutrition, easy to process protein, omega-3 fats, and the aforementioned minerals, not to mention vitamins, B vitamins, fatty vitamins, DEEK, just crazy valuable. Shrimp and so-called bottom feeders, by the way, lobster, yes, they're bottom feeders. I know that, but they're also perfect protein. They're pure protein. Oh, but they have cholesterol. So what? They're some of the most powerful, dense foods you could eat is lobster and crab and shrimp. But they're insects. Yes, they're insects. And by the way, we're going to be eating insects like crickets, not cockroaches, hopefully, but crickets and they're already doing it in Mexico. You can get little scorpions and crustaceans, little terrestrial crustaceans stuck in your lollipops and in your tequila. But I'm talking about cricket protein. Yes, in about 5 years probably, you're going to be able to go to the health food store and get a big old bag of cricket protein. Insect protein is set to be the next big thing, by the way. Ocean insects, of course, are shrimp and lobster, so-called bottom feeders. But much like cricket protein is going to be the next big thing, or the next thing, I don't know how big it'll be, but the next thing in health food stores and for people who want a good source of protein, well, ocean crickets, if you will, ocean insects like lobster and shrimp are packed with protein the same way. They're awesome foods, plus omega-3 fats. They have a special kind of omega-3 fat. Seafood has a special kind of omega-3 fat called EPA and DHA. Eicosapentaenoic acid, docosahexaenoic acid. We call them EPA and DHA. EPA and DHA are key elements for brain health, key elements for the eyes, key elements for the central nervous system, key elements for a developing fetus, for a baby. Unbelievably important, and you're not going to find them if you're not eating seafood. Algae has some. And that's something that food processors and nutritional supplement companies are working on, is extracting these fats from algae. But it's been pretty difficult. Although I'm starting to see algae oil, at least in terms of availability to researchers, if not to the general public. But it's only a matter of time. Meantime, you got to get your fish. You got to eat fish and fish oil. And I know about mercury in the ocean. Yes, it's a problem. Toxins in the ocean are definitely a problem. But fish also has selenium in it, Fish is a good source of selenium, and for that matter, sulfur. And selenium and sulfur both have a protective effect against mercury. So it may not be all that bad. It's certainly not a good thing that we have mercury in the ocean, but it's still, in my opinion, not a reason to avoid fish. If you're pregnant, maybe you want to not eat it as much, but on the other hand, you get all these wonderful things for your baby. Iodine, too. Iodine's an ocean mineral. If you're not eating fish, or you're not eating seafood, or you're not eating algae and seaweed, which we'll talk about here in a minute, you're a good chance you're not getting enough iodine. The goiter belt is located in this country, is located where there's not a lot of, where people don't eat a lot of seafood. Goiter didn't really occur with people who lived on the coastal part of this country or other countries. It only occurred inland because iodine is readily available in seafood. DHA and EPA, by the way, are also great for your skin if you have inflammatory issues. DHA, EPA, omega-3s, these are anti-inflammatory. So for eczema, for psoriasis, I have seen the most dramatic improvements in eczema and psoriasis in 3 days and 4 days simply by supplementing with fish oil. Now, I'm not saying that you only want fish oil as an essential fatty acid. I'm not saying you only want seafood. You do need the others. They're all important. Flax is important. ALA, remember, is the master omega-3, and that's only in flax and in seeds. So you need your seeds, you need your flax, but you also need your fish and your fish oil, especially if you're dealing with eczema or psoriasis or if you're pregnant. Or just it's a good idea to make sure that you're doing the seafood, as long as you're not, of course, a vegan. If you're a vegan, well, you can eat, you should be eating a lot of algae. Vegans should be eating lots of algae, lots of seaweed. And soon you'll be able to get algae liquid as well. Now, I'm not saying that omega-3 deficiencies, by the way, cause any of these problems. They may, as far as I know, but that's not the point. What I'm trying to say is omega-3s, DHA, EPA are must-haves if you're dealing with eczema and psoriasis. And now, where do you think the fish are getting their omega-3s, by the way? Where do you think the DHA and EPA is coming from? Seaweed, plankton, algae. The fish eat the plankton, they eat the algae, they eat the seaweed, and they make omega-3s. So as it turns out, not only is earthly grass, terrestrial grass, super duper powerful when it comes to nutrition, but so is ocean grass, and this is why this is my all-time favorite nutrient-dense food, is ocean grass, algae, seaweed, seaweed salads. Seaweed is amazing. By the way, seaweed's amazing for your skin too. Topically, seaweed can have some beneficial effects on your skin. If you want to make your own skin mask, go to a skin treatment mask, go to the health foods, or go to the Asian market and buy, or the health food store for that matter, and buy nori. I guess they call them nori rolls or whatever the seaweed is. There's dozens of different kinds. They come in little sheets. Soak the sheet, put it on your face. You can make a nice mask. It might break up a little bit, but still. You get polysaccharides, moisture factors, not to mention the minerals like magnesium, for example. Green always means magnesium, by the way. So green seaweed, when you're seeing the green in seaweed, what you're seeing is magnesium, and magnesium is awesome for your skin topically. It's not going to get inside necessarily, but on the very surface of the skin, it can act as a skin softener. How interesting is it that the humblest little forms of life, these single-celled animals, these tiny little critters, invisible to the naked eye, plankton and algae, the things that grow on top of the ocean are the beginnings of all life. They're the beginning of the food chain, and they are, as tiny as they are among nature's most powerful food. There's a reason why these little seaweed entities, these little microbes, these little single-cell seaweed critters are so powerful as nutrients. I'll tell you what I mean when we come back from our break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back right after this. We're talking about seaweed, the omega-3s, the ocean. There's a reason why life is so dense in the ocean. It's because the ocean is like a battery. It's a supercharged electromagnetic conducting matrix. It's pure energy, ocean water, sea water. It's amazing, amazing, amazing stuff. And all you got to do is witness the teemingness of the life force in the ocean, except for the part that we killed off, of course, the dead zones. Seagrass and seaweed is especially powerful. Seagrass and seaweed are actually little tiny cells strung together. They're single cells. This is what makes them so important. Single cells are critically valuable because single cells have everything you need. They're a living cell, and when we eat them, they make our cells. All cells are pretty much the same, you know? From a cell perspective, the cells that make up a bacteria are not all that much different from the cells that make up an animal. The cells that make up a fungus are not all that much different from the cells that make up a person. The cells that make up a seaweed are not all that much different from the cells that make up terrestrial life forms like us. And so when we eat cells, whether they're in the form of algae or nature's bounty terrestrial cell, which we call an egg is an egg cell. When we eat an egg or an egg cell, or when we eat seaweed or algae cells, or when we eat nutritional yeast or yeast cells, we get complete nutrition. This is what makes algae so valuable. You can use algae as a nutritional supplement. In fact, you can buy algae as a nutritional supplement, or versions of algae. Chlorella is another one that you can buy. Spirulina. These are single-cell organisms, and because they're single cells, they're complete cells, they have everything we need. Most of the food we eat is not cells, is not single cells. Vegetables can be, but once you process foods, they're not cells anymore. But when you eat an egg, as long as you don't process it too much, you don't fry it up too much, you're getting a complete cell. Same with a seaweed, as long as you don't process it too much. Eating a complete cell gives you everything you need, and you can truly subsist from a nutritional standpoint on algae, on seaweed. That's pretty cool, you guys. This is a food that is delicious if it's done correctly. It has every single nutrient that you need, every single essential nutrient that you need, and it's cheap. It grows on the ocean. This is so amazing. This is truly nature's bounty. The nutritional value represented by the nutritional value of algae and seaweed. Single cell creatures. Complete units. Self-contained nutritional entities, if you will. All right. I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. Let's take our first phone call. Angela in Florida. What's going on? Welcome to the Bright Side.
Hello.
Hey, Angela. What's up?
Hey, how are you, Pharmacist Ben?
I'm doing good. What's going on in Florida?
Good. I have a quick question about food allergies and food allergy testing.
Okay.
I'm doing my best to keep out certain things, especially sugar, but I just feel like I can't get my digestive system right, so I was just going to go to a specialist and get a testing done. However, I'm not sure if that's the best route to take.
Not in my opinion, it's not. Specialists exist for themselves. They don't exist for anybody else. There's nothing a specialist can do for you. And by the way, there's nothing a food allergy testing can do for you either, because you don't know how. Maybe you're reacting to something that your body's producing out of that food. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's not the food itself, but maybe it's something that's a processed byproduct of the food that your body's turning it into an allergen. That could be. Also, with food allergy testing, the way they do it is they take a specific food, a suspected food, and they put it in a petri dish, and they see how it reacts in the petri dish. You're not a petri dish. You are a dynamic, multifaceted living being. You're not a petri dish. It's not that simple. So people will find negatives with food that could be a problem, or positives with foods that are not a problem. So I don't like allergy testing either. But you can be your own allergy test, and it's a really fun thing to do. Check this out, Angela. Take a food and eat it all day, and start off with your favorite, most delicious food, the food that you love the most, and eat it all day long. What's your favorite? Do you have one particular weakness? Pizza or something, Angela?
French fries.
Spend all day eating French fries. Go to all the different McDonald's and all the different fast food joints in your city, and sample all the fries. Spend the entire day doing fries. If you notice that you break out, if you notice that you got some kind of weird digestive health issue, I'm exaggerating a little bit, But the point is that you spend all day eating your favorite food and see what happens. You be the allergy test. That's what I would do. Or you don't even need to spend all day eating it, but just eat it. Indulge. Enjoy your fries. Watch what happens. But don't eat anything else. Just eat the fries. You follow me? And then the next day, do your next food. And the next day, do your next food. Why would we go to somebody else to tell us what we're allergic to? Think about it. And I'm not picking on you, Angela. I'm not at all picking on you. This is what we all do. But what is the logic to go into somebody else to tell us what we're allergic to? When you think about it that way. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's helpful.
Okay, good. Thank you so much, Angela. I appreciate your call. Hope we helped you. All right. You know what I'm saying? Listen, a specialist is going to take your money. He doesn't have a problem doing that. But why would we go outside of ourselves to have somebody tell us what's going on in our bodies? Are we that disconnected from the way our body responds to food? Eat the fries, see what happens. Eat the ice cream, see what happens. I was teasing a little bit about spending the whole day eating fries because anybody would get sick if they ate fries all day. But when we eat fries, it's not the fries we like. It's the sugar and the fat and the salt. And there's a clue there for you guys. Sugar and fat and salt. The combination is completely irresistible. And food processors know this good and well. And this is why every city in every state, probably in every country, has pizza places and taco places and donut places and every other fried sugar, fat, and salt fast food you can think of places on every block. Because these foods are cheap and they're addicting. We are addicted to them. And then you throw in the high-tech biochemistry, high-tech organic chemistry that gets thrown into foods to keep us permanently addicted. This is why we have a food problem. We're being manipulated. Our strings are being pulled by food processors, by cereal manufacturers, by cracker companies, by candy companies. These commercials and the marketing and the billboards and the sponsorships and the endorsements from Mars and Kellogg's and Nestle, and it really is unconscionable on some level. It really is hard to fathom how a CEO can live with themselves. But other than that, we're responsible too. You know, this is why understanding how the body's working, this is why understanding our body's responses to these things is so important. Otherwise, our strings are going to be pulled. Otherwise, we're just going to be puppets. And that really is infuriating. That should really tick us off. That's why I say, every time we drive by McDonald's, we should be giving them the finger, let alone going in there and purchasing the swill. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. Let's go to Skinny Robert, I believe. Is that you, Skinny Robert?
Yes, I'm Skinny Robert.
Skinny Robert. How much? What are we up to now? 40 pounds, 50 pounds, 60 pounds?
Oh, shoot. Over 100.
Over 100. Oh, my goodness.
Right.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Are we...
another 50.
Hey, are you doing Super Saturdays still in Colorado? I don't hear...
Yeah.
When's the next one?
I am.
When is the next one?
20th.
20th, next week.
Longmont.
Next week, all right. Oh, in Longmont?
And then in Longmont. There's another one, 27th, down in Colorado Springs. So
that's a little far, but maybe I'll come to Longmont next week.
Yeah, it's supposed to be in Tom's place.
Okay, good deal. Thank you. What's going on today?
Hey, I ran into one of my buddies last night. He's just getting ready to start longevity products, but he's like he had 2-3 years ago. He had a heart attack. They put in 2 stents. Had him on Efficient or something like that for a couple of years, and he's off that now with...
I don't know what that is.
He had a blood thinner.
He's on a blood thinner. Yeah. Is he a diabetic? Well, he's got to be a diabetic, actually.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but he's down to 175 pounds, so he's lost some weight.
Good.
However, he just started experiencing blood and blood clots in his urine. He's going in.
That's not good.
For that. No,
that's not good. I assume he doesn't have a urinary tract infection or anything like that.
No. They took it. They did tests. They took him off with whatever antibiotics they had him on. They said, no, stop that. It's not an infection.
How old is he?
He's 62.
All right, so kidney, more than likely kidney, but it could be the prostate too. Something in that area. Something in the plumbing area, so to speak. But with his history of heart issues and weight issues, I'm more than likely kidney problems. So he's got to start to take care of his blood sugar issues. That's the most important thing with kidneys. Does he have history of kidney stones or anything like that?
I don't know.
Okay, so kidney is where I'd be focusing. It could be the prostate too, but my guess is the kidney. That means more water after all his meals. Dilute his blood. That means zero tolerance for anything that spikes his blood sugar, plus the sweeties, Beyond Tangy Tangerine, the Beyond Osteo. We don't talk about the Beyond Osteo for sugar, but it really is important for blood sugar too. Magnesium is. So making sure he's doing the Beyond Osteo. You might want to throw in the Immortalium. Fiber can help him, especially with his meals. If he would grind up fiber, even before his meals, grinding up fiber, or vegetable fiber, veggie juices. In fact, the bulk of his calories should be coming from vegetable juices, and then he also wants to be filling up with fiber. If he falls off the wagon and eats a bunch of sugar, more fiber will help sop up that sugar or mop it up, and then also more water. And also a little bit more chromium vanadium. Sometimes that helps too. And I love alpha lipoic acid, by the way, for blood sugar issues. It's actually used as a drug in some parts of the world for blood sugar issues. You can get that at a health food store, 400 milligrams or so a day. It's a little pricey, but it's well worth it in my opinion. That's another thing for him to do. I'm looking at a kidney issue. If it's a prostate issue, throw in some zinc and throw in some, it wouldn't hurt for everybody to throw in some zinc, good fats, especially the omega-3 fats, selenium. Selenium's good for sugar too, by the way. Also sulfur, MSM sulfur. These are all the strategies I would be using.
Right.
All right? Take care, man. Good to talk to you. We'll see you next week.
All right. Sounds good. I'll see you then.
All right, Robert. Bye-bye. On in California. What's going on?
I wanted to talk to you about puffy eyelids.
Okay.
I don't know if it came about after I had my stroke, but how does it come about?
Circulation.
How do I get rid of it?
Circulation, my dear, on. And this is for everybody out there who's thinking of buying a product that tells you a topical product. And I see them all the time, and it just infuriates me. Just more scammery. It's awful. Puffy eyes or circulation, it's a sign your blood's not moving correctly. And obviously, if you had a stroke, you can see, it's understandable. But for a company to say, here's a skin product for puffy eyes, is just more rip-off, unconscionable, unfairness, anti-humanity, evil. It's not right. Puffy eyes are circulatory. They're not topical. And the only reason we fall for this chicanery is because we don't distinguish the skin from the stuff that's underneath the skin. When we look at the skin, we think it's one sheet. We don't realize because it's kind of counterintuitive. It doesn't look like much is there, but it's filled with plumbing, microscopic plumbing. Can you imagine this on? There's microscopic plumbing, microscopic vessels, microscopic circulation under your eyelid, or not under, within your eyelid. You follow me?
Uh-huh.
And so the puffiness is a reflection of all these blood vessels that are leaking and of the blood that's not moving correctly through. Now, it's in the eyelid. Your puffy eyes, I assume do you mean under the eye, or you mean the lid, or the whole area? Under the eye. It's the same idea. You can almost see how there's like a little sinkhole underneath your eye. Can you see how your eye kind of sinks in underneath there where the bone is? That's called your orbital bone, where the eye sits. And if you touch underneath there, you can feel how there's like a little pooling area where stuff can pool. And that's a sign the blood's not moving correctly. Now, there's lots of reasons for that. The first thing you want to do is move your blood, force it to move by oxygenation, by deep breathing, and by exercise, moving your body, getting on a rebounder. But as important is cleaning the blood. We spent the last few days talking about inflammation in the blood. So making sure your blood stays clean. Number one, moving it through deep breathing and moving your body. Number two, making sure that you don't have anything getting into the blood that's causing that coagulation, that clottingness. And that coagulation and clottiness, of course, can be a result of leaky gut syndrome. So patching up the gut with the Fuchs Z, which also is a blood thinner, by the way, making sure that you're using coating nutrients that can help soothe the surface of the digestive tract, aloe and noni and bone soup and mushrooms, gummy, gelatinous kinds of substances, gelatin, that can help too. Bone soup is wonderful for all that. Your Healthy Start Pack, of course, that goes without saying. Make sure you're using your omega-3 fats. Those have a blood thinning effect. And vitamin E, too, might help. Vitamin E might improve circulation, 400 international units a day of vitamin E. But consider it a circulatory issue it makes perfect sense that what happened after your stroke, or you notice it after your stroke. It was probably, the situation was set up for having puffy eyelids before you had your stroke, and that's probably what caused your stroke. Stroke being caused by circulatory problems as well. So it sounds like you got circulatory issues on. I haven't seen you in a while, but I'm guessing you probably have issues. You may have issues with edema in your legs. Do you have that as well?
Yes, I do.
Well, it's the same thing. Do you understand the logic here? Things aren't moving correctly, and don't fall for those silly products that tell you rub it on and your puffiness goes away. I got to motivate. I got a couple more calls I want to get to. God bless you. Have a beautiful day. Good to talk to you. Sharon in Santa Cruz. Is this my friend Sharon that I haven't talked to forever?
No, it must be a different Sharon.
Different Sharon. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good name.
That's a good name. You're right.
Yes.
Nice, strong name. I like that name, Sharon.
Thank you.
What's going on, Sharon in Santa Cruz?
I was calling on behalf of my best friend and her mother-in-law, who has been dealing with leaky gut syndrome for several years now. And I'd heard you speak about it a few weeks ago, but I can't find it in the archives, and specifically about bone soup and how that helps rebuild the connective tissue.
Oh, my goodness. It's so amazing, bone soup. Eating connective tissue is the way we build connective tissue. It's pretty much as simple as that. When we eat connective tissue, the body absorbs those nutrients and it can turn it into connective tissue. When we eat the building blocks of connective tissue, things like glucosamine and hyaluronic acid and chondroitin, these are the building blocks of connective tissue. Likewise, our body will build connective tissue. Bone soup contains both of those things. Bone soup contains the connective tissue, and it contains connective tissue factors. We eat them, they go through our digestive system, they go into our blood, and then our blood not only uses them as raw materials, but this is one of the coolest things about the body. When the body sees little pieces of connective tissue, it means to the body that connective tissue is breaking down and it's time to rebuild. Little pieces of connective tissue, whether those little pieces are amino acids or whether they're glucosamine or hyaluronic acid or polysaccharides, those little pieces signal growth to the body's connective tissue because the body perceives those little pieces as a sign that there's breakdown occurring. Does that make sense how I explain that, Sharon?
Yes.
It tells the body, oh my God, we better start building because the connective tissue is starting to break down. Breakdown always precedes build up in the body, and if you could signal to the body through foods that there's a breakdown in the connective tissue, it will initiate the production of new connective tissue. That's the magic of bone soup, among other things. Bone soup is also a source of easy to absorb protein. So for folks who are dealing with intestinal problems, people in nursing homes, if you're on a diet where you need to get concentrated amounts of nutrients with very little calories, there's so many reasons why bone soup is incredibly important. And by the way, bone soup is set to become the next big thing. I'm predicting this for you guys. In coming years, maybe 5 or 10 years, there's going to be bone soup for breakfast places instead of coffee. It'll be bone soup for breakfast. You'll have all these little bone broth stores where they serve you bone soup for breakfast. And I hope that day can't come soon enough. We got to make sure, of course, it's organic and clean birds. But anyway, got to go, Sharon. Thanks for your call.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. Take care. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. That's all the time we have for today. So much good stuff to talk about. I always forget to tell you things, and that's just how it is in the world of health and the world of nutrition. Check out my skin health products at truthtreatments.com. If you want to join the Brightside Ben team, head over to brightsideben.com or benfuchsarchives.com or pharmacistben.com or criticalhealthnews.com. Have yourselves a spectacular, beautiful day. We'll talk to y'all later, folks. Bye for now.
Hello, my name is Don Wiskin from HeartDrop.com, the distributors of Extendivite, the #1 heart drop that people have been raving about for years. Every February for the last 16 years, HeartDrop.com has had a Heart Month sale to help you stay heart healthy. For only $115 plus shipping and handling, you can get a 4-month supply of Extendivite in either liquid or capsule form to help you get started on your path to better health. Now is the time to stock up. Order what you need. Stay heart healthy all year with the #1 heart drop, Extendivite. To order your Extendivite, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822. Or visit our website, heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Hi, my name is Scott Fuchs, teacher and rowing coach for over 14 years. I was sluggish, overweight, on prescription drugs, and only 30-something. Fortunately, I was referred to Dr. Z, and happy to say Dr. Z's all-natural protocols over a consistent course resolved my health issues. I'm in the best shape of my life, and most importantly, on 0 medications.
I'm Dr. Zdanowski, author of Evology, trained as a primary care physician, surgical manipulation under anesthesia, expert in nutrition, diet, weight loss, immune system, and I specialize in chiropractic. My 15 years of professional experience has taught me the 4 keys to vibrant health: a balanced musculoskeletal system, an integrated nervous system, a flowing lymphatic system, and a body filled with over 90 essential nutrients. This has been a secret too long. Actualize your potential, reverse disease. Call me, Dr. Z, 201-945-1177, 201-945-1177, evolveyourself.com.
Owe $10,000 or more to the IRS? Get on board with the Tax Admiral. Don't pick on the IRS alone. I'll cut penalties and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely. We're an A-rated company helping people clean up their mess with the IRS. If you owe $10,000 or more, then call the Tax Admiral.
Call 800-287-7180. Again, that's 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180.
Sciatica, lower back pain, hip pain, poor posture. If you suffer from any of these problems, get ready to relax. Introducing an amazing product that's been in the market for over 25 years, the Sacro Wedgie. It was invented by a football coach using a common-sense osteopath technique. He created this device to help his athletes by isolating and supporting the sacrum, which is the keystone of our anatomy. This wedge-shaped bone is in the center of our hips, where a lot of pain starts. Simply relax 20 minutes daily on the amazingly simple Sacro Wedgie and let gravity do the work, helping muscles rebalance and start releasing nerves. Sit in the Sacro Wedgie at the computer or while traveling to help correct posture to finally help relieve those stubborn aches and pains for only $33.95. It's made in the USA, so click the family-owned website at sacrowedgie.com, spelled SACROWEDGY.com, or call 1-800-737-9295. That's 1-800-737-9295. Relax your back pain away with the Sacro Wedgie.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
Many scientific studies have linked inflammation in the human body to several common health challenges suffered by Americans every day.
This idea about essential fatty acids getting turned into inflammatory or non-inflammatory chemicals. If you're dealing with an inflammatory issue like arthritis, and many diseases and many immune conditions have inflammatory components. If you have any inflammatory issues, essential fatty acids are maybe the most important nutritional supplements you could use. If you have fat absorption problems, you're going to want to take your EFAs with digestive enzymes, with fatty meals. It can also help improve your ability to process and absorb these super mega important nutritional compounds, essential fatty acids.
To keep inflammation at a minimum in your body, do what Ben Fuchs does and order Ultimate EFAs and Ultimate EFA Plus from Longevity by calling 866-735-2470. That's 866-735-2470. Or on the web at brightsideben.com. That's brightsideben.com. Order today.
Removing bad taste and odor from your drinking water is easy. Removing the bad stuff you don't taste is what ProPure does best. Water the way nature meant it to be. Clean, crisp, and refreshing. See the complete line of ProPure countertop, inline, gravity, and household water filtration products. Visit your authorized ProPure dealer or ProPureUSA.com. That's PROPURUSA.com. Or call 800-544-3533.
No other network provides the level of customer service we do. When it comes to radio advertising, we are your one-stop shop. And no matter how big or small your business is, we can help. Email us at advertise@gcnlive.com, and an experienced advertising executive will help you take the first step towards driving more customers to your business or website. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective, multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today.
Are you worried about your mom or dad living alone in their house? Hi, I'm Joan London. Listen, I know how difficult it is to find senior care for someone you love. That's why I recommend a free service called A Place for Mom. They are the nation's largest senior living referral service. Call A Place for Mom today.
To receive free information on senior living communities in your area, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-704-6182.
A Place for Mom offers free one-on-one advice from local advisors and a personalized list of senior living communities you can visit. If you have questions about senior care for your mom or dad, there's a place for answers, A Place for Mom.
Call A Place for Mom in the next 10 minutes to get your free ebook on financing senior care as well as free information on senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-704-6182. That's 1-800-704-6182.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
Are you sneezing, coughing, and aching? Do you have a sore throat, a fever, or the sniffles? There's no reason to be sick this cold and flu season with immune system support from Supernatural Silver. Supernatural Silver can give your body the help it needs to fight off harmful pathogens without hurting beneficial gut flora and without leaving behind resistant bacteria. Antibiotics can damage good microflora and often leave behind bacteria, which can cause problems later on. If you're sick of being sick, try Supernatural Silver. Supernatural Silver, the #1 choice of thousands for a safe and effective way to protect against the many diseases and illnesses that we are facing today. Go to supernaturalsilver.com, read our customer reviews, and see the life-changing results that people are having. That's supernaturalsilver.com. Supernaturalsilver.com. Use the promo code PROTECTED for 20% off your entire order. And like us on Facebook. Supernatural Silver.
We use mobile devices right against our bodies every day, but growing scientific evidence has emerged showing serious health risks associated with exposure to EMF radiation emitted from these devices. The solution is Defender Shield, the most effective mobile radiation shielding ever developed. Defender Shield blocks virtually 100% of EMF radiation from cell phones, tablets, and laptops, and starts at just $64.99. Buy now at DefenderShield.com. For 10% off, use promo code GCN. DefenderShield.com, the worldwide leader in mobile radiation shielding.
There's a man named Dr. Joel Wallach who is anything but your typical doctor, both a veterinarian and naturopathic physician. Doc asks, why does the United States spend more money on health care by far and still rank 50th in health and longevity worldwide? He believes that people should empower themselves with a basic understanding of nutrition, take charge of their health, and attain optimal health and longevity through nutrition, not by toxic prescription drugs that lead to side effects and more toxic prescription drugs. drugs. Doc Wallach's message is resonating with an increasing number of Americans who are waking up to all the big government, big pharma, and big insurance manipulation of our healthcare system. I'm George Norrie, and I like what Doc Wallach is saying and doing to enlighten people about healthcare. Visit brightsideben.com and listen to Doc Wallach's Deadly Recipes lecture. It makes a lot of sense, and I urge you to join the Brightside Ben team. Go to brightsideben.com. That's brightsideben.com.
Are your Google search results killing you? Unflattering content in blogs, news articles, online reviews, social media, or other sources can jeopardize your reputation, your business, and your livelihood. Let Reputation.com help. Our patented technology will make the truth about you more visible while pushing down unwanted negative content. Improve your Google search results. Call Reputation.com at 1-800-831-0771 for a free consultation. That's 800-831-0771.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich? Working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare? Having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom106.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom, the number 106.com. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom106.com.
Looking for that edge during those intimate moments? We see many ads for enhancement, but the side effects include death. At GCN Team, we should change the Healthy Body, Brain, and Heart Pack to the Healthy Libido Pack. The brain and heart are not the only organs that require a healthy vascular system. For proper blood flow at the right moment, go to GCNteam.com or call 877-878-4203. That's 877-878-4203. That's 877-878-4203.
Water is the single most important thing your body needs, so you want to be sure it's the best for you and your family. Since 2005, thousands have depended on Berkey purified water. The Berkey Guy provides the lowest priced filtration systems in every size. For incredibly delicious water now and in an emergency, get to GoBerkey.com or call 877-886-3653. 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com.
It's about time something new came along for better selling and buying online. And I found it.
What now, Marge?
It's buysellmakeoffer.com.
Never heard of it.
It's a brand new company. That's why you've never heard of it. It's the newest and best way to sell any products online. I did all the research.
Sell my car?
Yes.
Our home?
Yep.
My golf bag?
Your golf clubs. All of them.
How about your purse collection hoard?
Hey, now.
You said any product.
Right. I did. We get 30 days free.
Really?
Packages starting from only $7.95. And buysellmakeoffer.com will never charge item fees ever. Never. And this is cool. Listen to this. You can even use Skype or video to show your items.
That's cool.
Yes. All we have to do is go to the website, sign up, and then load our stuff to sell. I love this site.
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
Buysellmakeoffer.com. You got it?
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
Buysellmakeoffer.com. Better selling, better buying.
Most of you know that heart disease is the #1 silent killer in the U.S. What if I told you for just $54.95 a month you could fight against heart disease naturally? At Heart and Body Extract, we've been helping thousands of people get back to a healthier heart. Don't just take my word for it. Check out all of the success stories at hbextract.com. Or to order, call 866-295-5305. That's 866-295-5305. hbextract.com. Don't risk it when you can take charge of it.